Broadcasting live from the headquarters in the capital, Asmara, it's ERi-TV, dear viewers. This is English news broadcast for this hour. Coming up are the top stories from inside the country and abroad. Programs for empowering youth in the Gash Barka region. The Forestry and Wildlife Authority holds activity assessment meeting. African nations gaining prominence in global affairs, according to Lavrov. And Middle East rejects Trump's proposal for U.S. takeover of Gaza. On your local reports, the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students in the Gash Barka region reported that significant efforts are being made to develop programs aimed at enhancing the vocational, political and general knowledge of the youth. The report was presented at a concluding event for a social science training program provided to youth from the region's 15 subzones on 3 February. The training program, conducted from 27 January to 3 February, covered topics such as the history of the Union and its involvement in national affairs, the concepts of nation and nationalism, ideological principles, political and psychological success, youth and environmental conservation, the role of youth in the economy, technological literacy, and the basics of philosophy and religion. Mr. Takhla Zara, head of political and organizational affairs at the Union branch, highlighted that the training not only enhanced the understanding of the youth, but also significantly contributed to experience sharing among participants. Mr. Marikos Germatian, acting head of the Union branch in the region, emphasized that the training program is part of the Union's vision and objective to develop the overall awareness and capacity of the youth. Ambassador Mahmoud Ali Houri stressed that youth-targeted programs can only succeed with the active involvement of the government and PFDJ institutions, the public and the youth themselves. He called for coordinated efforts to ensure the successful implementation of these programs. In other news, the Forestry and Wildlife Authority branch in the Northern Red Sea region held its annual activity assessment meeting on 30 January in Ginda town. The meeting reviewed activities conducted in 2024 and on-plan action for 2025. Captain Ahaye Tekhle, head of the branch office, stated that due to sustained awareness campaigns and increased public engagement, significant progress has been made in preserving reserved lands and developing forestry and wildlife in the region. He noted that over 20,000 tree seedlings were planted in 2024, with strong participation from the public and members of the defense forces. Captain Ahaye highlighted that the priority tasks for 2025 include expanding nurseries, establishing additional control centers, monitoring projects along the eastern escarpment, and continuing awareness-raising activities. Colonel Kinfe Habtom, General Manager of the authority, urged the public and stakeholders to maintain regular follow-ups to ensure the safety and sustainability of reserved lands. Participants at the meeting held extensive discussions on the reports and adopted various recommendations. The Northern Red Sea region is home to 107,000 hectares of national reserved land, stretching from Nalai to Devre Bizen. Still on your local reports, the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students in the Central Region, in collaboration with the Department of Agriculture and Land, organized a training on poultry farming for 30 foster families in Sarajah subzone. During the conclusion event on 4 February, Ms. Yerusalem Habta, head of the Union branch in the subzone, explained that the trainees were selected by their respective administrative areas and were each provided with 2 beehives to support their livelihoods. Ms. Anait Mahari from the Socioeconomic Services Division at the Union's central office emphasized that the goal of the training was to enable foster families to improve their living conditions through the skill they had acquired. She also encouraged the participants to apply their new knowledge practically. Mr. Asrat Haile, representing the Department of Agriculture and Land, and Mr. Tesfuf Sahatian, administrator of the subzone, also called on the trainees to share their newly gained knowledge with others in their communities. Additionally, Ms. Alan Belai, head of the union branch in the Central Region, held meetings with union members across all subzones in the region. These meetings focused on the implementation of various programs of the union. Dear viewers, we'll be back shortly with your international reports and more in a tad. Welcome back. African countries are playing an increasingly important role in global politics and economics and are actively participating in addressing international issues, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has said. Speaking at the inauguration of the Russian Foreign Ministry's new Department of Partnership with Africa on Tuesday, Lavrov reaffirmed Russia's commitment to strengthening Africa's position in a multipolar world, aligning with the principles of the UN Charter. Lavrov highlighted the long-standing and deep-rooted partnership between Russia and African nations. The establishment of the Department of Partnership with Africa reflects how Russia has prioritized its relations with African countries. U.S. President Donald Trump's suggestion that Washington take control of the Gaza Strip and oversee its redevelopment has triggered swift and strong reactions across the Middle East. Speaking on Tuesday, Trump proposed resettling displaced Palestinians outside Gaza and stated that the U.S. would own the rebuilding process, clearing unexploded bombs, leveling destroyed buildings, and creating economic opportunities in the region. The remarks have fueled tensions as ceasefire negotiations between Hamas and Israel continue. Saudi Arabia, a key player in regional diplomacy, was among the first to reject the proposal. As per reports, Trump's latest comments are likely to further inflame regional tensions. On today's final report, France has handed over 3 military bases to Senegal, beginning the withdrawal of French troops from the West African country at the request of the government. Local news agency Senegal reported this on Monday. Paris had 350 soldiers stationed in Senegal and planned to reduce the contingent to 100 as part of a broader military reconfiguration in West and Central Africa, where it has suffered setbacks. In November, Senegalese President Bassirou Diomaye announced his decision to entirely remove the French military presence from his country. He said the French army bases are incompatible with the nation's sovereignty. President Bassirou did not provide a specific timeline for when the withdrawal would begin and end. He told Paris-based daily Le Monde that the evacuation will be done with the necessary respect, without haste or any pressure. However, on January 23, Le Monde reported that French forces would leave all 5 military bases in Senegal by the end of September 2025, as confirmed by Senegal on Monday. That was all with your domestic and international reports for today, dear viewers. And now a quick recap of the major headlines. Programs for empowering youth in Gash Barka region. The Forestry and Wildlife Authority holds activity assessment meeting. African nations gaining prominence in global affairs according to Lavrov. And Middle East rejects Trump's proposal for U.S. takeover of Gaza. Thanks for watching, dear viewers, and have a good one.